Uh, I see you. What's good? What's going on? What's happening?
Nothing much. I'm ready for us to get through the weekend. And do what we need to do. Call it a weekend and get some rest.
You get no rest? You ain't get no rest over there? What's going on?
I just feel like my days are running together.
Uh,
Yeah. Just the normal activities.
okay.
Yeah.
I can dig it.
Mm-hmm. Hey everybody.
Anybody on here?
I know. I just say it anyway. Because you know what? When you first start a business, I am big on this. No different than when I started Delaware Charms. I didn't have any followers at all, like nothing. And then, piece by piece, it starts coming together,
Yeah.
So, it is what it is. Somebody's gonna look back at this.
True. What's happening, folks? What's going on? Podcasters.
Happy Friday. And off Friday.
Merry Christmas Eve.
Merry Christmas Eve.
You know what I'm saying? I hope you checking out your favorite Christmas movie. I watched Die Hard last night, so I'm in the.
Oh, really?
Oh yeah, it's not Christmas until you watch Die Hard.
What?
If you don't know about the Nakatomi Towers, Die Hard. It's Christmas.
No, I haven't even watched Home Alone this week. All month. That's how much my days are running together.
I don't think I've watched Home Alone in years.
What?
I'm telling you, I haven't watched Home Alone. I haven't even watched A Christmas Story in like a few years.
I've never seen that.
Christmas Story runs 24 hours every Christmas Eve. It runs Christmas Eve into Christmas Day.
Have not seen it.
Wow, yo.
Is that with the little boy in it?
Yeah, with the Red Ryder BB gun. You'll shoot your eye out. Oh man, we might have to do an episode on Unpopular. I don't know how you ain't watched. That's like saying you ain't seen The Sandlot.
No.
What? Oh man.
I seen Sandlot.
Oh.
Yeah.
I can't believe you watch. Oh my gosh. We're gonna
it's a lot of movies that I wasn't really, I guess, big on.
Oh.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I hear watching
my stuff.
Yeah, I hear watching basketball films and stuff. Watching. I should have crossed here instead of
exactly.
Out of control. Anyway, I guess we need to go on and get in it.
Yeah. So, your introduction.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Tonight, last night, tomorrow night, today, tomorrow, yesterday, and all that good jazz. Welcome to another episode of Just Cuz Podcast. Sorry, I'm not looking like I'm over here trying to do some technical stuff over here. But welcome to another episode. And we're gonna get into it with my favorite cousin, all the shade, India, and myself.
Yes, what's going on, people?
So we're gonna get into our next episode. We're gonna talk about self-care. Very important, very often overlooked, I believe.
Really overlooked.
And not taking advantage of it.
Important.
You know what I'm saying? So, what are some things that you do to execute your self-care?
First is this little steamer over here. This is what I have gotten into. This little face steamer. Jada Pinkett was talking about it a couple of months ago in our podcast.
No.
Yeah, so us women, we like to have a fresh face, and y'all do too. But I do this at least once a week. Steam my face with this.
Really?
Yeah. and it helps. And it's also helped with these colds and everything that we've been experiencing with mucus and all of that. Yeah, it does really help. Headaches. So yeah, I do that once a week. I've been doing that for about at least 6 months now. Usually on Sundays, because that's a day where I, have a little bit of time to do what I want to do.
Uh-huh.
Um, that's one of my things. Another thing is at least going out to a restaurant by myself to eat. Uh, Another thing that I learned in 2021 is taking self-care trips. I was just talking to my sister last night about it, and I told her, I said, my goal on my vision board for 2022 is to take 2 self-care trips at least in the next year, every 6 months. And she said, India, I think you can do 4. I think you should do it quarterly. And I said, you know what? I was thinking that too. Like, you really should do something, even if it's small. Like, I live in Delaware, so I can go to DC for a weekend or a day or something like that, just to clear my mind.
Right.
Or Philadelphia or Jersey, just to walk down the streets or just take a ride up the road. I love road trips, driving, because it clears my mind. It brings me clarity, creativity. I get more creativity on the road because my mind is really clear and thinking what I need to think without it being cluttered with doing different things. So yeah, that's my main things of what I do for self-care.
Oh, okay.
Yes. Mhm.
Interesting. So,
What do you do?
what do I do?
Yes.
Man, it depends on the type of day that I have. It also depends on the type of week. And then
Mhm.
there's some stuff that I do, like I do regularly. Or
Yeah.
I try to do regularly. Uh like depending on the type of day I had at work and who I had to interact with and stuff like that. Like I may come home and I'll play Call of Duty just to clear my mind. Like I'll play Call of Duty. Other things I do, like I'll hop on my motorcycle, I go take a ride on my bike to clear my mind. Uh I try to get pedicures regularly.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Even though not everybody come to find out more men get pedicures regularly than you would think.
They do.
But it's just not something that's like publicly
Yes.
like put out there like I go get pedicures and manicures and stuff like that. But yeah, I do partake in pedicures. I also partake in massages. I also
Mhm.
get facials. Uh that steamer, like that's when I go get my facials and they put that steamer on, I'm like, yo, steamer is a little rough. You take some getting used to. I mean,
I
that's
was gonna say you got to get used to it.
yeah,
Mhm.
that's yeah. It takes a little getting used to. And I'm like, man, but
You got to put it in your face though,
yeah,
especially now.
yeah, true that, and but yeah, and then sometimes I work out. I try to work out. I'm getting back into working out regularly on a regular basis, and but one thing is that I can't because it doesn't make any sense to me, but uh like all the gyms, well, like the gyms that I go to, like all their steam rooms and like saunas are closed.
Oh.
So you can't go into the sauna or the steam room, but I
Mhm.
can walk around the gym and work out and touch all the equipment,
Yeah.
which doesn't,
But
stuff
do
like
you
that.
still have to clean the stuff yourself, the equipment yourself? Oh.
So that was never a new thing. Like that's always been like, hey,
Yeah.
wipe down your equipment afterwards. But yeah, you have to wipe down everything and that you touch.
Mhm.
It just kind of hold people even more accountable than before. Like before it was like, hey, it's there, but now it's like, hey, you need to wipe your stuff down. Like, and they keep that stuff stocked and it's like readily available around the gyms.
Okay.
Gyms that I go to anyway.
Hmm.
Yeah, that's what I do. You know what I mean?
I think it's really important to get, your days if you need them. I think sometimes when we get into work, we overwork ourselves and we exhaust ourselves with work and daily life at home. So someone like me, for instance, moms that are, in sports and things of that nature, we tend to um get overwhelmed with what we are doing and we put us last. So mom and dads for that matter, we do put ourselves last on the list. So we need to definitely get better at that in 2022. I know, like I said, my main goal is, when I'm tapped out between work and home life, I know now that I need to take a trip for me. It's not anything against anyone else or the kids. It's just that I need a break. And I did say that in a meeting. When was it? Wednesday or Tuesday? One of those days. I did let them know I'm going to go on vacation next week. And I need a break. And that's exactly what I said. Because somebody said, are you really going on vacation? Yes. Mhm.
What do you mean? Am I really going on vacation? Like,
But I think sometimes it's sort of passive aggressive talk.
mm,
Yeah, I think you have to properly identify when people are being passive aggressive. And with everything, I'm a master at that right now. I can identify when someone is saying something real off the charts and crazy. Yeah, so I just say yes, I'm taking a vacation because I saved up for it and it is my vacation. So yes, I need a break after this year that I have had. Yes, it is my time to just simmer down and get ready for 2022.
I can dig it.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, you really taking a vacation? Like, nah, I just put days in so I can still come in here and do work. Like,
What did I post last night? That guy. If it's a December problem, it's gonna be a January problem.
gonna be a January problem because I'm
Yes.
done for the year.
Yes.
I can dig it. I like it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man. So it's so do you have any future self-care ideas that you thought about but haven't, participated in?
I want to do a retreat. Monique Rodriguez has a retreat, I want to say in Cancun in March. Um, I would like to attend that. And I told everybody in the last 2 weeks, my family anyway, any money that you give me, for Christmas is going to self-care trips. Um, you don't have to buy me anything. If you want to give me $10, I don't care what it is. It's going in the pot for those self-care trips. But I would say first on my list is a retreat. Uh, Second on my list is possibly, a trip overseas somewhere, like to another country. I want to experience blue water
Highly recommend.
badly. Like every time I see blue water, I'm just like, what am I doing wrong here? I don't want Lewis water or Rehoboth water. Miami is calling my name right now.
Blue
Yeah.
water, like crystal clear blue water.
Yes, clear.
Mm.
Yes.
All right. It's like a little different of a depth perception because you think because you can see all the way down to the bottom and you think like, oh, it's like right there, but it's way deeper than you think it is in some
Oh,
spots.
really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
That's
Yeah.
what I've heard. Like, when you get those like crystal clear waters and you like go out a little bit, but
Mhm.
because it's so clear, you can see down to the seafloor. It just looks like, oh, it's just right there. It's not that far down. But when you actually get in the water, it's like way deeper than you think it is. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Okay. Okay. Yeah. So what are you looking forward to next year? We're doing self-care. Something new.
Something new. So I know at the beginning of the year, January, a group of friends of mine, like we did an LA trip like a few years back,
Mhm.
and probably need to do that trip over again.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think you told me about that.
we had way too much fun. The day we got off the plane, we had way too much fun. It was kind of which kind of threw off the rest of the weekend just a little bit, not by much, but
Yeah.
yeah, man, like day zero, we was in. But anyway,
Yeah.
but yeah, but the beginning next month, I'm meeting up with them in Colorado.
Oh, okay, cool.
So we're gonna hang out in Colorado. So I think I would like to incorporate like annual trips with like friends.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Where all of us we pick a destination and we all meet there and we kind of like just have fun and hang out.
Yeah.
I think those are dope. Uh, and then I think I like to incorporate some more like museum tours.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, like next week, uh, I'm going to hit up the National African American Museum of Music. It's in
Oh,
Nashville.
Nashville. Okay.
Yeah. So I take a tour of that. Like I toured. I think I'm gonna do some more distillery tours.
Mm-hmm.
There's quite a few distilleries in this area, especially in Kentucky. But like yeah, like museum type tours. I think in other states and cities and stuff like that. And then like I told you about there's a horse farm in Atlanta that
Yes, yes,
they use horseback riding as a form of therapy.
yes. Mm-hmm.
So I think that would be interesting to participate in sometime next year when it's warmer out. Um,
Yeah.
but yeah,
Um, I think that we need to incorporate my friends and I was gonna say me and my friends and I need to incorporate going on trips more. I know one of my besties, she was going through transitioning into new jobs. So she couldn't go with me back in October, but we definitely been saying it for years. We're at the age now, we've been out of school for 20 years, almost. So we're well over the age gap where my kids are older now. I don't have little kids anymore. She doesn't have any kids. So it's nothing holding her back but her work schedule. And with my kids being older, I can move how I need to move when I need to do it. So it's going to be different going forward, for us. And I want to enjoy my time because I always say tomorrow is definitely not promised. And I think sometimes we put things off for a long time. It took me a long time to get my kids to Disney World. I kept putting it off. But when we got down there, I think we genuinely enjoyed ourselves, just by spending time with one another. So I think that falls in line with self-care too, because when you reach a goal, a life goal, um, it feels like you've done something. I know for me it did. Like, okay, yes, I finally did this after all these years. So it was good for me. It was a good feeling for me. But next year, excuse me, I definitely want to do more for me
I,
and my care.
yeah, I definitely agree. And I think like uh, I know especially like in the military, like we tend to put off a lot of things
Mhm.
because we're so conditioned about mission first and completing the mission and making sure things is good to go and done right. And it's kind of like uh there's our organizations, they'll set a time, like they'll look at the calendar and be like, hey, this time frame, we're encouraging everybody to take off,
Yes.
for the most, like there's a time frame, and everybody like picks their time of when they're gonna take off, and like they do that like, I mean, it depends on the organization, but they usually do it like in the summer. Like they'll do like a block leave type thing, and then during Christmas, they'll do like a block leave where like everybody puts in their time off of, you know. So, but you know, a lot of times, you know, we tend to push off or hold off on doing things, especially when you get into positions of authority or you have increased responsibilities. Because I know one year I wanted to come back home and do and attend the Firefly festival, because I think it was a year that Outkast was on the ticket to do Firefly.
Oh, really?
Yeah, this was years ago, and I was like, yo, Outkast is gonna be at Firefly, and I wanted to come back and attend it, but something was going on, and I was like, I talked myself out of it. I've talked myself out of going to Essence Fest so many times, stuff like that. Like I want to attend those things, and like
Yeah.
at least Essence Fest.
Was 3 Stacks there during that time?
That was the rumor. I didn't go. I don't know if he actually showed up, if they actually performed together, but like that was the rumor. It was like 2000. I think
Had to have been one of the first ones.
yeah, this was like 2000, I don't know, 12 or 13 or
Yeah, because he's been off the map for a minute.
yeah.
It had to be around that time because that's when he came out with the song with Beyonce, and you know he wasn't doing anything with her either. He recorded it, but he wasn't going to do any concerts or what should I say, anything that would make him do a live show or live events or be in the presence of cameras or anything like that. He was not. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know, but I just know it said Outkast on the flyer, and I was like, oh, that's gonna be dope. But
yeah,
but again, I didn't go. I put off and I didn't do it. So it's kind of like we're conditioned because we want to make sure things are done because we don't want nothing to come up when we come back.
Yes.
Or nothing to happen while we're gone and we're getting phone calls or like, hey, this is going on, or like, it's kind of like, yeah. And like now that I think about it, I think that's also like a form of like self-care, because when I became in a position of authority and like I had people under me, I made sure that they were able to function without me.
Yes.
So that way, if I wasn't there, I didn't have to worry about someone calling me, or I have to call and check and make sure things is done, because I know that I've prepared the people under me, to be able to function without me. So if I'm not there, then I don't have to worry about it. You know what I'm saying? Other than my boss at the time, but that was, I got to do it by that. He would ask me 1,000 questions whether I was there or not. So
they get 1,000 questions until I get that.
Right. But he's still gonna text me anyway. But anyway, yeah. I mean, it's like I kind of think that's like a form of self-care for me. I believe that's a form of self-care, because when I do take leave, or if I had to go travel for work, I'm able to focus on whatever I'm doing while I'm traveling, or if I'm on vacation, I don't have to worry about it because I know that they'll take care of it. And if they do happen to reach out to me, you know what I mean? It's either going to be like an extreme emergency, or it's just something like, hey, we tried to find this, but we couldn't find it. And I was like, oh, we just look over here, type deal. So it was, I think it's self-care right there, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah, I think you have to do that. I mean, I know someone that never takes a vacation, never really been out of the state for X amount of years, never been on a vacation. I know a manager like that. And basically, I feel like you hand over your life to an employer, and you're so committed to the employer, that they're really not committed to you, meaning that you give your whole life over to them. You work extra hours, possibly, and don't get paid for them because you just want to get the job done, or you want projects to run successful. But at the same time, like, who's to say when you retire that you're going to enjoy your life? Because I've heard stories where people retire and 6 months later they're dead. So like, why do all of that? I think it needs to be some type of life balance between work and home life, and like separate from your own entity, meaning our individual self. I think that yes, you can run it all together, but at the same time, you need to separate some time for yourself, and just evolving as yourself. Uh, doing things that you generally don't do, going to new places, going to new states, seeing a different scenery. I think is truly important. My sister and I talked about that yesterday. She said, India, remember earlier in the year when I went to New Orleans by myself and I had the best time because everybody that was supposed to go with her bailed on her at the very last minute. And you know how that goes. People sign up for trips and then it's like, oh, I'm not going. Oh, so now I got to go by myself. But I think you should travel by yourself too and be okay with that, because she said she had the best time of her life. She said she went to all 20 places that she wanted to go to. She went to different restaurants. She ate by herself. I mean, she really, really had a good time. And she didn't have to document all of that as well, meaning that you got to tell everything, everywhere you're going or whatever. And I've gotten to the point where sometimes I don't post until I get home either. I don't post when I'm there most of the time, because some people are watching everything, watching your whole movements, and you don't ever want someone to know that you're going somewhere and your house gets robbed or something crazy like that. So I think that you should enjoy the vacation while you're on it. Like I said, the concert that I went to back in October, it was just so refreshing to see our people enjoying ourselves, not knowing, well, most of the people down there, I guess, knew each other, but I didn't know a soul down there except for my child. So I mean, I can walk and enjoy my time and sing and do what I like to do. I like hip hop music. I like R&B music. So yes, I'm going to see who I want to see if I can. So yeah, you have to do things outside of your comfort zone is what I should say.
Oh yeah, definitely. I agree. It's just I think it's just doing that. I mean, getting used to it and just getting out there and doing something outside your comfort zone. And what I'm saying, it's not like you have to completely dive in the pool or dive in the ocean, but you can do little small things. And we talked about that before, like doing little small things, just to build that confidence up. But you know what I mean? Even if if there's like something that you can do is, if you know someone at a certain city, like you can like talk to them and you can go visit them. Like, look, I don't really need you to, give me a tour or be my tour guide. I just like, yo, when you got time and you want to hang out, then we can go hang out. But I'm gonna come to the city. I'm gonna do my thing. And at least someone there. You know what I mean? Kind of like, hey, what's some couple of spots, I can hit up. You know what I mean? Like, because they may still have, responsibilities, to still have work or whatever. Yeah. Like, okay, we can hang out on the weekend, but I'm gonna come like a couple of days earlier. Yeah. Let's go tour the city by myself. You know what I mean? Like, I got friends in Savannah, I got friends in, in Charlotte, and friends in Virginia and Maryland, DC, Vegas. I did a Vegas trip. You know what I mean? I knew somebody that lived in Vegas. Yeah. And I went for my birthday. I just randomly went. Mm-hmm. And I reached out to my friend. I was like, hey man, I'm coming to Vegas. Blah blah blah. He was like, okay, cool. He's like, I know a spot that you can stay at that's not uber expensive, but I think it's adults only. I think you'll like it. It had like a nightclub at the bottom of it.
Oh, really?
It was like an art hotel. So like the hotel was like art theme, art design
Uh-huh.
hotel. So like it was artwork on the not just like artwork on the walls, but like the way it was painted, it was designed, the carpet, the room, it was different.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so like, but yeah, I just hit him up. He, picked me up from the airport,
Mm-hmm.
dropped me off at the hotel. You know what I mean? It was just kind of like, hey, the room wasn't ready yet because I came early because
Yeah.
but they was like, yeah, we'll lock your, luggage up here, and when you come back, you just, let us know. But anyway,
Mhm.
like, and I think we went somewhere to eat, and then he was like, what you want to do? I was like, hey, I'm good. I'm just gonna go do some things. And he was like, all right. And he went back to work to whatever he went to do, and I Ubered to,
Yeah.
do some places, and I just kind of, did my own thing until he
Mm-hmm.
got off, or we linked up later, and then we kind of did a little couple things in Vegas, and that was it.
Yeah. I mean, you can't beat that. And I can't wait to get out there. I don't know if I'm going to fly to LA and go to Vegas or go to Vegas and drive to LA, but I'm doing both in the same trip. Whenever I do it. But yeah, I can't wait. I've never been to Vegas or LA. So that is definitely on my bucket list of things to do.
Hey,
Mhm.
yeah. The only thing is, like I think we talked about this before. Just look at like who's like doing residencies at Vegas and who's having shows, and kind of just like book your shows,
Mhm.
you know,
Early.
yeah, early, so like, all right, this night I'm gonna go to this concert or this show to check this out, and
Mhm.
then you kind of like then you just maneuver around that.
Yeah. Yeah, but you definitely need to everybody for that matter. If you haven't been to a particular city, then go to it. When I took my kids to Disney World, it was on my list to go to Miami. And I got in the car and I drove to Miami. That was on my bucket list to do because I wanted to see it for myself. Like I wanted to experience the environment. And it was only for a couple of hours, but I'm sure I'll go back probably sometime next year. Because it is calling my name. Yes. Without kids. You can take them certain places, but then you can't do certain stuff that you want to do. So yeah, self-care all the way.
Absolutely,
Hmm.
man.
I
Is it?
think we all need to prepare for 2022 though. Get these vision boards out and actively like, write down what you want to do. And I didn't know it worked really, really at first. A lot of people, I should say everybody, a lot of people talked about vision boards, but last year was my really, really first year that I was very descriptive on my vision board and I knocked out a lot of it. And I think it is true. You write it down and stick to it. So yeah, it's really important.
I have not done a vision board.
No?
Nope. I've even went to a vision board party. I didn't know it was a vision board party until I got there, and they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna do vision boards." And I was like, "Vision boards? What?"
Really?
Yeah. I was like, "Nah, I'm not doing a vision board." Like,
You don't believe in it?
it's just something that has never grabbed my attention. Like, oh, or it's been an interest of mine. Let me do a vision board, and I've seen.
Mhm.
Matter of fact, the HR uh NCOIC at my organization. She has a vision board in her office.
Does she really?
Yeah.
What she wants to do in the office during the year or for her life?
No, this was like personal stuff, like
Really?
her goals, and like house and cars, and like some goals that she has, like she wanted to do. And it was hanging up on her office. Like her computer was here, her vision board was right above like the monitors on the wall.
But you know why she does that, right?
So she sees it every day.
Hmm.
Yeah.
That's what I did last year. I put it next to my bed on my wall. And so when I get up in the morning or throughout the day, I can look at it as a reminder of this is what I'm really, really working on. Uh so yeah, I think it worked for me this past year. Really good.
Really?
Hmm.
Oh, maybe one day I might do it. I don't know.
Yeah. Hmm.
I think about it.
Yeah. You got to put the work in there.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's just like it's like when your uncle near he posted he posted this meme. He was like, no money is going to randomly appear in your account.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Because
Stop saying it.
you see it all the time, like especially on like social media, like Instagram, you be like this right now, and $10,000 is going to be in your account next year. I'm like, no, it's not. If you
Listen.
ain't doing nothing that's gonna that's gonna create $10,000, if you're not doing something outside of, if you're gonna keep doing the same things you're doing, if you ain't just liking a button,
Yeah.
I'll get you $10,000. That's not how it works. You know, that was just like,
Chain letters. I will
yeah,
block you in a minute if you send it to me. You won't be on my Facebook anymore.
yo, that was just like years back when I used to see that stuff like, if you love Jesus, like this, like Jesus is going to answer your prayers, and you like this right now, like
And
really,
they got the direct line to Jesus.
right? You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like that's I don't think that's how God works. Like,
No,
you liking
not
your
at all.
posts is, it's gonna grant my blessings. Kick rocks. Get out of here with that.
Oh my gosh.
You
Yeah,
and Joel Osteen and all the rest of them.
not Joel Osteen.
Hey, look.
It is what it is.
Hey, look. I'm just saying, he's got like that permanent Joker smile. Like, I don't know, his smile be a little, I don't know.
Like, like can't be trusted.
I don't know. Like, I don't, you smile, like, how you smile the whole time? Like, the whole
You
time.
know, they just found that money in his church.
Yeah, in the wall. The plumber
Yeah.
found it in the wall and gave it in. I was like, okay.
How does that happen? But Lord, I'm gonna let you do what you do. I'm,
I don't know.
yeah, it's very interesting to know that amount of money is stuck in a wall somewhere. That I mean,
Of your
it's
church. And you make a church.
yeah,
And,
that's not an accident. I don't think.
you know what I mean? Like, ain't like your church just
Yeah,
ain't like it's a brand new church. Like his church has been around. Anyway, self-care. So we're gonna we definitely promote and hope that, people do things to, self-care and take that time. If work's gonna be there,
yeah.
work's gonna be there. And you said something you said earlier, like uh, I can't exactly what you said, but like you kind of put things before ourselves. And some things I think like you need to put yourself first. Because if you're not taken care of, how are you properly taking care of those that you're taking care of? Like,
No,
like, because I've known some parents that be like, I put my kids first, my kids, come before me and blah blah blah. But like, so if you're not taking care of yourself and you burn out, then who's gonna take care of your kids then? Like, if your kids always come first, like me personally, like I would say, like, take care of yourself, take care of yourself. You know what I mean? And if you're good, then it's easier for you to take care of your children, or your parents, if you're taking care of your parents, or whoever that you're taking care of, even work. Like if you're good to go and your self-care is on point and you're taking care of yourself and you're in good spirits, I think like your work ethic would be better, and you'll be able to pour into your kids and your family better. Just me.
it is true. I mean, I can speak from experience where I have been at times exhausting myself. Like I have been to the point where I may get up, like when my kids were over at Postal Weight, um, and they played basketball. The basketball season goes from November to March normally. I mean, it's a long season of running. So I was taking care of my grandmother at the time, and I would drive from Smyrna to Dover, back to Newark, back down to Dover, back up to Smyrna. And my day would start normally about 4:30 or 5 o'clock, because I would have to be out of the house by at least, like 5:45 in order to get down here and go back up, because it takes normally an hour with traffic. And you're gonna fight traffic in the morning. So even when I lived down here at the time, and I would go to Felton when they were in Lake Forest School District, I would do the exact same thing. But basketball season is really, really exhausting. And it's a little different now because of course my oldest drives, or she has had the opportunity to drive the past couple of years to school. But there was times when I would be going to pick them up or trying to rush that back down here to get to their games. And then I would go to the high school games, and I would go and tape there. Sometimes I would do 2 games in one night, a taping. I would cut the tape when I got home, meaning I would edit the tape, because I just knew that I needed to help people with getting into college or sending out to college coaches. So I would possibly go to sleep at like 11:30 or 12 o'clock, because I'm sitting up here watching the tape, thinking that I need to assist somebody in whatever. So I'm turning around, getting up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning and going back to work. Same thing when I went to school. Like, I don't know how I did the stuff that I did, but it was unhealthy. So I ended up going to my doctor, and I was just like, I'm getting sick in the car in the mornings. Like, I didn't know where this car sickness was coming from. And she was like, you're not getting enough sleep. Like, I didn't even have to eat anything, and I would be getting up, getting in the car, and getting sick in the morning. So again, you have to take care of yourself. It can't be fast food eating and thinking that you're going to be able to go. It's fast food. Like, it's not good for you. So it was a lot of that too that I had to learn. Like, okay, you need to cook at home. Like, you need to eat at home and not be on the go so much eating bad food, or just change up your diet, all of that good stuff, and get proper sleep. Sometimes you're gonna not have to go to those games, allow somebody else to tape or whatever. If they don't get to tape, whatever it is, it's cool. But it was a hard lesson for me as a mom, trying to exhaust myself to overcompensate for being there for my kids at everything, whether it was band, sports, whatever. But I come to realize, if I am not good for me, I'm not good for them either. And I don't ever want them to not live without a parent because she exhausted herself for a job or for sports or whatever. No, we're not doing that here. So that's my thing now. I have to think about myself. I have to get proper rest. If I got to go to sleep at 7 o'clock at night, I'm getting into bed at 7 o'clock. So that's what I had to do. Yeah.
Yeah, it's important. You gotta take care of yourself. It's crazy how you burn yourself out, and you're not really, you don't realize, you don't think about it until your body's like, hey, you're doing too much, you need to go sit down. Because your body will tell you. And if you ignore it, your body's gonna keep calling you until it's like, all right, I quit.
Yeah, it will shut you down all the way. And when you need to listen to your body. I know a lot of people have not identified when they were having strokes or serious health issues.
Right.
And because we are on the go all the time for everybody else, and we don't listen to our body, and we pay the penalty for it. We really do. So it's just not good. It's not healthy for us, healthy for our family or our jobs. I've seen a lot of people at work just drop because they've exhausted themselves, for whatever reason. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I can dig it. You know what I mean? Cause like we Man, it is a lot. Cause I think back to like I think it's like my second deployment.
Uh-huh.
You know what I mean? Like we worked like 12-hour shifts 7 days a week, while we deployed. And it was like when my leadership like rotated and got us worked it so that we got a day off. So like when I didn't have to go in for my shift, like I slept for like 20, like probably like 23 hours. The only time
Wow.
I would get up, I would go to eat. And then like I would come back to my room and I would just go back to sleep. And like I would be asleep like the entire time.
Really?
Yeah, like my body was like, yo, because I mean it's like you work, I mean like you work 12 hours and then like you got 12 hours to do whatever. So you usually like spend whatever little bit of time. I mean, you eat, maybe watch a movie,
Mhm.
do some hygiene, you know what I mean, work out, you know what I mean, but it's like, but that's it, you know what I mean, like, we're in a deployed environment, so it's just like you just you're working these long hours every day,
Mhm.
you know what I mean, so it's like when I got those days off, I would just crash and I was
Mhm.
just like sleep almost the entire time.
Yeah.
Crazy, you know what I mean, and then even if when we're not deployed or we're back here, like, we gotta get up and do PT in the morning from 6:30 to 7:30 or 6:30 to 8, depending on where you're at. And
Mhm.
then you get like an hour and a half and you gotta be back to work
Yeah.
by 9 o'clock. So you're working 9 to lunchtime. And then
Mhm.
lunch, you do lunch, and then after lunch, you're coming back doing work. And then depending on, your level of responsibility, you're not leaving at the end of the day like everybody else. Like I'm still
Yeah.
there till like 6, 7 o'clock at night. You know what I mean? I remember one time while I was in Europe and I was working, like I was in the office until like midnight.
Yeah.
And then I left, I went home, and then I was
Mhm.
back at it the next morning.
It's not healthy.
And it's just like where do you draw the line? And so
Yeah.
you so conditioned to like to do this stuff. And it's just like, well, I just need to make sure it gets done. I gotta make sure it gets done. You know what I mean? And then it's like, you put stress on yourself and you kind of don't, you know, you're afraid to put some responsibilities uh to those who work under you.
Mhm. Because you're not sure if it's gonna get done
You're not
or
sure if
not.
it's gonna get done or not. You know what I mean? It's kind of like, and I know especially for us in the military, like I've seen it, people who like they won't give certain tasks to their soldiers underneath them, or they'll
Mhm.
do it, or they'll do and they don't get it right. And then it's like, well, I can't trust you with this now. I'm just going to take care of it and handle it. Well, if
Yeah.
they don't get it right, then and you're not saying, well, all right, well, let's figure out how you didn't do what went wrong, so that way you won't do that mistake again. So you're depriving them of the lesson
Yeah.
of figuring it out, and you also depriving them of, like, if you mess it up, then you got to fix it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Mhm.
And you can't wait until you know
Last minute.
you can't wait till the last minute, or you can't wait until, and now it's like they're gonna get promoted and they increase responsibilities, and now they're doing the same thing that you did.
Mhm.
Say, oh, I gotta make sure this gets done because I don't, this has to get done. It has to be right, and I can't leave this to you to mess it up. Well, you need to mess it up so that way you can learn how to do it right. And
It's
that was
called micromanaging.
it's micromanaging, and it's just like, and now it's like, now you're there, you're at work for 13, 14 hours, and you know
Mhm.
what I mean, and then your soldiers or your employees under you are leaving because they ain't got nothing to do or they're not doing anything, and then they're like, now you like saying that you're trying to give them bad reviews or you give them average review,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? But how much of that is on you because you're not sharing that that workload. So you know what I mean? So I wanted to get away from that so bad. And
Yeah.
when I came in charge, I was like, nah, like, all right, this is your responsibility. And if you mess it up, then all right, let's figure out what went wrong and how we can make it better in or do you got some ways you think you can make it better, or so that it runs, streamlined for you. Well, what's your
Yeah.
idea? Let's talk about it. Let's see how it works.
You have to. I mean, you have to give it up. You have to give up that knowledge. You can't hold it in, because what does it do when you get ready to retire or you're ready to go to another job with another employer or whatever the case may be? You can't take that information with you. We just had someone a couple of weeks ago leave, and they have been there for 30 years, I want to say. I think they just hit 30 years. It might have been 25, but it's someone that knew a lot of information, and they never had anyone underneath of them that they mentored. So I think it's not smart when jobs have particular people that are subject matter experts that are knowledgeable of everything, especially in systems. Like, you're not going to replace that. It's going to take a long time to build that up again. And then when they get ready to go, and right now we're in a period of a turnover rate for employers. So a lot of people are getting sick of this foolishness of playing this game of, okay, when are you going to give me a promotion? When am I going to get the salary increase or whatever else? We're tired of playing those games at this point with some of these employers. So of course, yeah, we're going to go find something else that's possibly going to treat us right. It may not work out, but what if it does work out for us? We're going there and we're not coming back to you. So with that being said, like, I think that we need to, a good manager can manage everyone. They know how to, what should I say? They know how to send off whatever task that needs to be done, and be okay with that, of not throwing a temper tantrum when stuff doesn't work out or they need to fine tune different things. You need to, be a leader and lead by example. Because I know a lot of managers, they had these manager titles, but they can't manage. They just can't. So, I mean, you want the title, but you don't want to put in the work. And that irritates the heck out of me. Like, you're a manager, but you don't know what specifically needs to be done for your job, but you use the people underneath of you to know these things, to support you, to make you look like you're doing a great job. And no, it can't work like that. So I don't ever want to be that manager or supervisor.
Facts. Absolutely. That was one thing that I learned when, as I progressed in the military, and I was like, like we talked about, you can learn from good and bad leaders. You know what I mean? Because, like, all right, I like that. I like how they did that. I don't like them, or I don't like, that style, or some of the things they did. You know what I mean? So it's just like, I'm not going to do that, but I am going to do this. You know what I mean? Because because I remember I asked one of my first line supervisor, I was like, hey, can you teach me how to review evaluations? Because he would get evaluations, and he would review them. You know what I mean? And because, like, that stuff had make sure that it was all the admin data was correct, and all that other stuff. And I was like, hey, can you teach me? And he was like, I'm glad that you asked me. It shows me that you want to learn. But he never taught me. And I was like, trash. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, and so I had to, and then I came in a position where I had to review them.
Yeah.
And so now I had to figure it out on my own, on the job. Like, it's like, now I got to figure it out on my own, and I have to. So, I mean, but luckily, we have regulations. So, I did what you're supposed to do. I opened up the regulation. I went page by page, number by number, and I would start reviewing them until it became repetition. And it was like, now I'm able to look at it. Every now and then I'll go back and look at the regulation and be like, okay, you can't put this in there, or you have to put this in here. You can't use that, or whatever. You know what I mean? And then, moving forward, I came to a point where, like, my young soldiers, I didn't give them a chance to ask me. I was like, hey, I'm gonna teach you how to do this.
Because you know it.
You need to know it. You know what I mean? You're gonna start doing this at a young age. You know what I mean? Hey, I give you one here. You know what I mean? You review it, and then you give it back to me, and I'll look at that, how you reviewed it, and then we'll talk about it. And then they get better at it. You know what I mean? And then now they're they've got promoted, and now they're like E5, E6s now. You know what I mean? And, like, they're able to execute these duties.
Yes. But I don't think you should block as a manager or supervisor, especially in y'all's field, you shouldn't block anyone from knowing anything. Meaning that if you can hand something off to someone else, just hand it off. Meaning some type of knowledge. We all can learn something every single day. And I just don't understand why people limit themselves on not sending information to especially people that they talk to every day, that they kiki and haha with. Like, I want you to grow as a person, and genuinely want to see you do well. But sometimes it just doesn't work like that for whatever reason. People don't do that. So but you have to take it upon yourself if you really, really want to advance in career development, whatever it is, take it upon yourself. And that's a part of self-care too. Like, we get frustrated with these jobs, but a good portion of why we are where we are is because of us. It's because of our confidence. It's because we're not attacking what we need to attack, meaning we don't put in the work. We don't know how to go after our goals sometimes. And, like I said, this next week, I think it's a good time to review where you want to go in the next year or 2 years. That's where I'm at this point. That's what I plan on doing. I don't want to do anything but figure out what my plan is for the next 2 years during this next week.
Yeah.
Spend that time figuring out what I want to do. What do I want to attack? And it has nothing to do with anyone else. It has everything to do with me. So it takes seeking clarity, mental clarity, and how you going to attack what you want to get in this life. It's up to us.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You got to. You know what I mean? It's we talk about it, we kind of hint to it, but like, if there's things that you want to do or ideas that you had or dreams that you have or goals that you have and you haven't written them down, or actually take a look at, not just, but more than just writing them down, but actually researching into others, the information on how to get to it or what it needs to get done, or what's some of the things that you have to do to, make those goals or those dreams come true or accomplish those goals. Really, you have to look into it. You know what I mean? It's like the fear of the unknown. You can't be scared of the unknown. You know what I mean? Like, you just gotta, because the more you increase your knowledge on it, the less it becomes unknown. And you'll it's interesting. Just like just like the stock market, you know what I mean? Like, listening to EYL and listening to Ian Dunlap and like them talking about the stock market. Some of that stuff sounds like Latin. Like, you know what I mean? But like, as I do more research and I look into what they're talking about and the terms that they use, and I gain an understanding of it, it becomes easier to understand. Like, oh, okay, I know what they're talking about now. I know what they're saying. You know what I mean? Oh, okay. I get that now. You know what I mean? So it's just like you have to take the time to do your research, to look into things, to increase your knowledge on different aspects. And if there's something that just because you're scared, you can't use excuses like, oh, well, that's, it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late to get into it now. Like, no, it's not too late.
It is not too late at all. I don't get it. Even when I saw T.I. Earlier, what they posted, the clip that they posted talking about he gave stocks to his employees and his kids a couple years ago. And I just don't know. Us people need to really sit down again this next week and really take advantage of learning some new information, even if it scares you, because it's a constant reminder. It comes through different forms anyway, is what I should say, as a reminder to us to do what we need to do for our family, the people that we are with every single day. To make sure that they are knowledgeable. I just talked to Jay about that yesterday because she said a friend of hers was talking to her about stocks, and she said, they remind me of when you talk about stocks. And I'm just like, girl, yeah, you need to get on board. Like, come on.
Yeah, you know what I mean? It's like, I feel like from now on, anytime anybody asks me, hey, what you want for your birthday? What you want for Christmas? I want stocks.
Ah,
Buy me
yeah,
stocks. Well, I don't know how to do that. Okay, well then let's figure it out.
yeah.
I'm
Just
starting to get,
bank account.
you know what I mean? Let's figure it out. And
Yeah,
I'll show you how to buy. Let's start, get a brokerage, and so you can buy a stock and then you can give me a stock. How about
yeah.
that? You know what I mean?
I just thought that was cool earlier. Like, and you have to
Absolutely.
be smart with your money. I just don't get people that um don't take full advantage of it because they're scared of whatever. Like you said, it's a gamble. I mean, you go to the casino all the time. Why would you not play with stock?
Hey, you betting on your favorite sports teams?
Come on. Y'all will run down to that daggone gas station and get those
I mean,
power plates and all that, but you won't invest in stocks. But I'm not judging you. I'm just saying it's similar, you
it
know.
is. It is. You know what I mean? But the more you know, the less riskier it is. And I don't know what I mean. I'm, trying to change mindset and get you into something different. Because I'm about to, you know what I mean? Like this, like people ask me, like, what you gonna get your mom for Christmas? Well, I'm probably gonna buy her more stocks.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I think this it's the smartest time to right now. And any stocks that are low right now, for long-term stocks, you might want to get in now. I mean, I'm not the smartest in stocks, but I'm not the master investor, but yeah, it
Yeah,
is prime time to get in now and get a good return. I think it will work out for you, but we're getting ready to head into possibly another recession if they don't get these things cleared up.
possibly.
So you have to prepare for that too. And don't depend on whatever to be there like it's guaranteed, whether it's your job or your stocks, whatever, or your banks, because of course, banks are going to make their money from you.
Yes, indeed.
So, yeah. And like we always say, we're not
Not financial advisors in no way.
we're not, but yeah, just be smart about what you're doing and mindful of everything. Watch a little bit of the news here and there. Don't watch it every day, but I mean, don't watch it all day, but you need to be listening to what is going on right now because there is a major fight for this bill. And you know, these people that we vote in that are not for really for us, they're really for themselves and for their families. I need y'all to start paying attention to this because it's getting real around here, you know.
Mm,
Mhm.
yeah.
So yeah, so I definitely think this is a good time to prepare for next year. Get ready. I wanted to come on and say Merry Christmas to everyone. Happy New Year. If we don't see y'all next week, uh I thank everyone for supporting us. For those that I'm going to cross the line a little bit, supporting India's creations, I thank y'all. I appreciate everyone. I know it's been some cousins, one cousin in particular that she will not allow me to name her, but she has been ordering things every couple of weeks for the whole year. And I definitely love and appreciate you because, yes, you definitely have been really supporting me in whatever that I do, genuinely. And I love you for that. I just wanted to say that. I'll send that to her later, but she knows who she is.
Man, that is dope. I love that. I feel that's so dope. I love I love that support that you're getting.
Mhm.
I think it's amazing.
It
And
is amazing.
whoever it is, man, you're gonna make me step my game up. I gotta step my game up. You know what I'm saying? Because
I'm a go-to person, and I will say that I am not a master at my craft yet. Just started this cricket stuff last year, and I prefer to not get into apparel a lot, but a lot of, and I would say a lot of different cousins. Another cousin, she what she say? She said that I'm her go-to person too. And I love y'all for that. I really do, because sometimes we second guess ourselves, and y'all sometimes have confidence within me to do this stuff that I don't even have in myself to do. So I definitely love y'all for that, for real. And I love you too, because again, you were one of the first ones that said, okay, go ahead and do it. Whenever I tell you something, and that's what I love about you too, it's not judgment. I love my core people who go along with my ideas instead of shutting it down all the way and stomping on it and whatever else. Like, y'all don't know how that feels when you come up with an idea and someone says, don't do that. You can never do that. And then you have people that say, go do that, and really support you in that. You have been one of those people. So I thank you for that.
I find it shocking that you don't have that confidence in yourself.
Sometimes,
you know what I mean? Because look, that the family reunion shirt with the glow in the dark. Yeah, I don't know. You don't know how big that was for them to see that it was a glow in the dark design on the shirt.
Yeah.
Like I'm telling you, that was like, I want one. That was like
everybody's shirts. I just say, sometimes I like to do things for the kids. Like, let me just do it this way or whatever. Let me just try this, because some vinyl doesn't really work out. That's where my confidence goes into play, meaning that I may use different vinyl and it just doesn't work out. So it's I do whatever I can do, but I got to learn my lessons in this process as well. But then for those that do work out, man, like this 55 and still fly, they love those things. I'm getting ready to put them up on the website. Like next week. I haven't had a chance, but I'm telling you, it's getting ready to be some changes made, and you have to pay. Like, yeah, that's one change we're making in 2022. You're gonna have to pay before you get anything. So yeah. My big lesson in business, just go ahead and take care of your business properly, because you will get burnt. So
absolutely. Lessons on lessons.
Yes, absolutely. But I definitely love the support on Just Cuz podcast. When we started this a couple of months ago, I don't think we ever thought it would be on this magnitude, or I didn't personally think so, that we would be doing all of this, but it's enjoyable, it's with purpose, and I love it.
Facts. I didn't even think about all that stuff. I just wanted to do it. I just thought the conversations that we had were dope, and I was just like, why not?
It wasn't being recorded. That was our thing. We were having a conversations, but you can't see our faces. But now, again, people can look back and, just listen in. And I think that's a great thing for not only our family, but for others as well. Because sometimes we don't talk about different things for whatever reason, especially with family. And, we kind of hold these things in, and we need somewhere to talk about these things and see if someone else is feeling the same way, and no, we're not the only one. So that's where we come from, and a sincere place.
Absolutely. What I mean? And we used to start talking about family and dynamics, so that stuff gets touchy, and it's kind of taboo, but it's like, hey, it is what it is. You know what I mean? Like it's therapeutic. It's a way to express it, and you get some feedback. You know what I mean? Like, I tell you things, you give me some feedback. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay, it's a different perspective, because you can't get different. It's hard to get different perspective when you're the only person that you're talking to.
Absolutely.
I don't know I don't know anybody who can do that unless unless it's more than one person in your mind. But
Yeah. And sometimes it takes that. Again, we're going into Christmas tomorrow. Please be nice to each other. It is Christmas, and it's been a long week for a lot of people. So
been a long year.
a long year, yes, it has. But if you can smile, if you wake up tomorrow, you're pretty blessed. If you're still breathing, you're pretty blessed. If you have a family, you're blessed. It's always a positive to a negative. So tomorrow, like I said, it's enjoyable to be around your family. Even tonight, I'm getting ready to go over to my mom. So yeah.
Until I said, hey,
I sure will.
She still owes, she owes me an answer from about 6 months ago about the family reunion for next year. She said she's like, well, let me pray on it. All right, you've been praying for like 4 months now. I'm pretty sure you got an answer back by now. So
she got a direct line.
she got that, she got the bat phone.
Yeah. If she wants an answer right then and there, she'll get it.
But tell her I said hi to her. I love her. Tell your grandfather I say hey. Tell him I hope he's doing well. You know what I mean? And Merry Christmas to everybody.
Yes.
Happy holidays, Happy New Year. Please take the time to participate in some self-care, do something new. Get you a vision board. I probably ain't gonna do one this year, but I don't know. We'll see. What I'm saying? I might go home and visit India, and then she can help me work on one probably.
Yeah. I got plenty of boards here. My daughter bought like a 10-pack in. I do, just in case I mess up. Oh, and listen, see that book up here, everyone?
Oh yeah, I seen the whale book.
Yeah. Everybody needs to go and buy it and read it. I have not read a lot of it, but yes, it is talking about family dynamics. And I know the hype is all over the place with the information that's in it, but read the first part, especially. Yeah. So
cool.
Happy
holidays. I'm in chapter 3 of my book.
Are you?
Yeah.
Oh, we gotta talk about that too.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
And we gotta talk about something else. But I will talk about that next week with you. Or in a couple days. All right. But happy holidays, everyone. We love y'all.
Take it easy. Yeah.